So in this video, I wanted to talk about why black people should vote, and just all demographics that feel as though they are oppressed by the system should vote for libertarians. And here's the reason why. Let's just jump right into it. Your civil liberties occur naturally upon birth. They're just a simple byproduct of you existing. You literally just have liberty. You come out of your mother's womb kicking and screaming, and you could do whatever the fuck you want to until someone says, shh, stop. And so what you need to understand fundamentally how that relates to politics is government is the person that's telling you to shh, stop. And when you understand this, then you realize every civil liberty that has been encroached, that has been limited or restricted, is because government told you to stop, right? And so there are ways in which this works to the benefit of mankind. For instance, EPA regulations, which restrict, for instance, people who have a profit motive to destroy the planet by fracking, or destroying all life as we know it by fracking. Or people, or the EPA who is responsible or supposed to be responsible for ensuring that we have clean water to drink out of. Flint, Michigan, that kind of stuff, right? Right? So those are responsible uses of government. Here's an irresponsible use of government. The guy's shaking you down in pursuit of plants and minerals. The guy holding you upside down, the guy punching you in the head, the guy choke holding you in pursuit of plants and minerals. This is absurd. And this is a misuse of government. And the reason why it occurs is because people put in place policies intended to benefit not even a fraction of the populace, a handful of the populace, to their economic benefit. There is a financial imperative for institutions to maintain the system as is. When we talk about legalizing marijuana, when we talk about the war on drugs, we have to understand the reason why these laws don't get passed, or I should say these repeals don't get passed, is because there are people with a financial interest in maintaining the system as is. And those people with the financial interest lobby government. They utilize government as a tool, as a goon squad, if you will, in order to maintain these policies that restrict your rights and freedoms. They're the ones telling you to shush, be quiet, right? The reason why you can't just live your life, walk the streets, go wherever you want to go, and simply have the liberty of experiencing life as you will, at your own leisure or with your own pleasure, is because these institutions, pharmaceutical companies, prison industrial complex, etc., have an incentive of making sure you don't. Because the moment that you're able to grow your own products that compete with the pharmaceutical industry or with the crappy products that they're providing, then you are then encroaching upon their liberty, whatever that means. You're encroaching upon their financial capability of controlling the markets, of rigging the markets. Because now you've created multiple competitors to the crappy products they're providing you, right? This is why EpiPen is able to skyrocket their prices by like 500% or whatever. It's because they have a monopoly on the resources, and they've lobbied enough within the FDA and other actors to where they and their friends can help to prevent generic products from entering the market. So what that translates to is they now have the means of being able to dictate prices because there's demand for the product, and they're the only ones who meet the demand. And there's a lack of competition within the marketplace. Why is there a lack of competition with the marketplace? Because the drugs are illegal. So how do you deal with that issue? You make the drugs legal. But that's not a Democratic Party stance. That's not a Republican Party stance. Green Party definitely talks about it. And the Libertarian Party talks about it. Because the only way you can accomplish that goal is by drastically reducing government. So let's talk about some other issues that are exacerbated by the war on drugs, right? For instance, your Fourth Amendment rights. What used to prevent an officer from being able to illegally search and seize your property. has been completely eroded because of the war on drugs. The Utah versus Strife case is what the police officers now use as a means to justify illegally searching you. Well, I guess now it's legal. I don't know if it's legal. It's a little bit of a weird situation. A little bit of a quagmire. But now they can illegally search and seize your property, and admit as evidence into court anything they find while they're conducting that search. Well, it's not like police officers plant evidence on people, right? It's not like they would plant something that is prohibited on a person who was otherwise innocent. So what we're looking at is the only way you can accomplish true liberty is by a complete erosion of the state. And I know it's difficult for people to hear at first, but you need to understand that your rights, your liberties don't come from the state. They come at the detriment to the state. They don't want you to have those rights and liberties because there are financial institutions who who benefit from you not having those rights and liberties, because that's what allows for them to break the markets in their favor. That's why America doesn't have free markets. America has capitalism. And what capitalism is success by any means necessary. And this includes coercion. This includes extortion. This includes bribery. And in a free market system, everyone is able to aspire to wealth and prosperity, so long as you're able to put in the work, and so long as you have the resources to do so, or you're willing to amass the resources to do so. But not in a capitalistic system. In a capitalistic system, I bribe politicians to prevent you from having access to resources. And if you dare touch those resources, you're going to prison. But I go to the CVS and I sell the exact goddamn thing. That's capitalism. So we need to understand that black people, you have to advocate for complete legalization of narcotics. The people who have that on the table right now is Jill Stein, Gary Johnson. That's it. Hillary Clinton will not provide you that solstice. Donald Trump, I don't even know if he understands what's going on with those issues. But Hillary Clinton definitely will not. And she's most likely to be the president of the United States. And you need to understand why she will not. She will not because she is funded by those financial interests who want to maintain the status quo. She is funded by the prison industrial complex who wants to maintain the status quo of packing people in these prisons like sardines. And the justification for packing them into prison like sardines is the pursuit of the war on drugs. See, what you have to understand is it doesn't matter which drug they make illegal, as long as a drug is illegal. There will always be a black market that's created, and that's what they're counting on. That's why the war on drugs exists. Those are one of many reasons why I think that we should vote for libertarians. I want to explore more reasons in the future. This is just going to be one episode out of many. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If there are any suggestions that you have, if you think there is a candidate like Hillary Clinton who is more likely to legalize narcotics, if you think there are people who if you think that she's going to do it, please leave it in the comment box below. I'd like to have a debate with you on that issue. Anything. So that's the Bothersome Truth. Hope you enjoyed our dose of Bothersome Truth. We are constantly prescribing the medicine of truth. If you have any suggestions or would like to have your truth explored on the show, email us at bothersometruth@gmail.com. The best way to get your next dose is to subscribe, share our truth with your friends and family, and we can save the world together.